moving to the final segment. The issue of substantive revision of electoral rolls in Bihar is sub judice. The Supreme Court, hearing a clutch of petitions, all of them from the opposition parties, has upheld the Election Commission's remit of holding the special intensive revision in Bihar, thus throwing out of the window primary argument of the opposition that it should not be carried out in the first place. There have been some valid grounds which the EC should have thought through before launching the deep cleansing of electoral rolls in Bihar, last done in 2003, and the Supreme Court might crease out those drawbacks in its next hearing. But the politicking by the opposition bloc has veered towards the irresponsible as usual. Look at this post by Asaduddin Owaisi of the AIMIM. He's calling the authentication drive by the EC a backdoor entry of the NRC, the National Registry of Citizens, a bugbear created for the minorities, specifically the Muslims post the CAA NRC protests of 2020. M.A. Baby, the chief of the Communist Party of India, Marxist, wrote an op-ed in which he termed the roll revision a continuation of CAA NRC debate and called the trio of CAA NRC SIR an antiquated 20th century idea which defined citizenship as an exclusionary concept. As an NRC hawk who believes India is making a big mistake by not rolling out a national register of citizens that has been mandated by the Supreme Court itself, this raising of NRC bogey by the opposition is opportune time for me to reflect on the issue briefly. First up, here's a list of some countries that mandate a national registry of citizens based on which they issue national ID cards, which the citizens of course need to acquire and keep as proof of their citizenship. Germany, Belgium, Spain, Portugal, Sweden, Finland, the Netherlands, all in the Western Europe. Singapore, Philippines, Malaysia to our east, South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria in Africa, UAE, Israel, Kuwait in West Asia. Over 100 countries, in fact, maintain a mandatory national registry of its citizens around the world, rich or poor, developed or developing alike. And unlike what M.A. Baby wants us to believe, most of the nations have evolved their idea of citizenship in the last 50 years, responding to the complexities of globalization. Now let's come to our neighborhood. Pakistan maintains a mandatory registry with compulsory registration by its citizens. Similarly do Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, and of course China. Just leaves us in India and possibly Afghanistan. Imagine the illegal Bangladeshi infiltrators who are taking advantage of India's porous border and even more porous systems have to mandatorily be a part of the NRC in their home country. But there are some here in India who make their stay or the stay of these illegals a touchstone of India's liberalism, secularism, wokeism and whateverism, staking national security concerns. Since this episode has been about ironies, I shall close with one. The opposition argument in the Supreme Court hinged on citizenship count being the sole preserve of the Home Ministry and not that of the Election Commission. Then is it a natural corollary that they would allow the NRC if the Home Ministry picks up the tab? Again, they have argued that the Aadhaar card should be allowed to claim presence on the electoral rolls. The same opposition resisted tooth and nail the idea mooted by the Modi government in 2021 that the Aadhaar card be linked with the voter ID cards. As they would say, irony died an electoral death. Thanks for watching.